So this is my short trip pack. Go on, go lay down. This is the pack that I take on short trips. I do have an 80-liter Osprey pack. If we go more than 3 nights, that one is the one that's coming. But most of our trips around here, we're going to do 1 or 2 overnights. So I like this pack. Had it for a couple years now. It's been on many trips, and it still looks almost brand new. It washes up really well, it cleans up really well, and it holds up really well. This is an REI pack. I think it is called the Ruck Pack, and it's a 40-liter pack. The thing I like the most about it is it still has a waistband or a belt, so you can transfer some of the weight out of the pack onto your hips, which is what you want to do when you're hiking. You don't want to just have straps. You don't want all that weight on your shoulders. It's going to make you tired really fast. Shoulder straps and the waist belt are all fully adjustable for ride height and for different builds. The other thing that's really cool about this pack is I can fold all of this up and unzip a cover underneath here and completely cover this up and use it like a duffel bag for the handle. So if I travel for work or something along those lines, I'll usually take this, but I won't use it in backpack form. I'll carry it like a duffel bag and stick it in the overhead bin on the plane. So multiple uses, and it served my needs really well. So we're gonna go through the pack, and I think Maverick is gonna watch my back. I'll start with the outside. So this is an MSR water filter. We use it. I like it. Holds up well. Filters last for a while. No issues with it. A little bit of food grade silicone for lubrication, and she's good to go. So on the other side of the pack is empty, because if I don't run a water bladder, I'll use a regular water bottle. They fit really nice right in the side, don't have to carry it, easy. The only thing that's not actually in this pack right now is food and a change of clothes. We usually eat those camp-ready meals or freeze-dried meals when we're hiking. So we'll put the food in the main compartment, or Carola will carry it. I'll put a change of clothes up here, underwear, socks, another pair of shorts, and a wicking t-shirt. So all of the clothes that we take, it's not cotton, it's all like ripstop nylon, like hiking gear, hiking clothes. That all packs down really nice, can all fit right here. And if we're expecting rain, I'll have my rain gear up here as well. So that's why this is empty. So now I can open up the main compartment, and up here in the little organizer is where I will put the miscellaneous items like our car keys. I have tent stakes up here, cell phone and all that will go right here. And in the main compartment up top is a 2-person cook kit. So I showed this on the last video. This is the same one that we take with us car camping. It's real efficient. So we have a pot, 2 bowls, and then our coffee cups in here. We can store more stuff inside of it. So that all packs up nice, kind of locks in, doesn't spill, does make noise, but when we have it all packed in, it makes less noise. So I've got a sit pad, and this is a blow up pillow. I always bring these two things because they're super light, super small, and pretty versatile. So, next up is my camp bag. I went over this in the last video for car camping, but same concept applies. It's right on top. It's really quick to access it. Usually this is one of the first things that comes out of the pack because we use everything in here to set up camp. So that's always with us up top. So going further down, the next thing in are the lights that I use inside my hammock. If we get to a campsite later at night, my headlamp is in the camp bag, and then these lights are right here up top, really quick to access and kind of string out so we can have a lit area to set up camp. And then right after that is my rain tarp for my hammock. So when you're setting up camp, and if you're setting it up in the rain, you want to put your rain fly or your rain tarp if you're hammock camping on top, and you want to set that up first. So that gives you a nice dry place to set up camp. Then of course we have my actual hammock. We've got a top quilt and an under quilt. So if we are summer camping and it's going to be really hot, I usually won't bring the top quilt. The only time I bring it, I think, is if the temperature is going to a level that I think is going to be uncomfortable for me at night. So the under quilt, the bottom quilt, always comes 100% of the time because I can hang it loosely around the hammock and not get as much heat insulation, but it stops the wind. And the wind is the killer, the important thing. So you want to stop the wind. It's not necessarily about stopping cold from creeping in, but if you can stop wind, you won't cool off. The hammock will keep you warm. And that is everything that's in the back. It's a really, really simple, quick setup. No, it doesn't seem like much, but really the most important thing is your sleep system and your food and your water, and you have all that covered here. Now on the 80 liter packs, obviously the larger pack that I have, I might do another video on that, but more gear comes with us, hiking poles. We have our cold weather gear, so we have extra jackets, extra base layers, rain gear, toboggans, hats, beanies, that kind of stuff. So all that takes up room, and not all of that is compressible. So the other cool feature about this pack is, let's say I do have to pack up in a hurry, and I throw my camp bag in the bottom, and then I throw everything else in, and I'm in a hurry, and we get to the next campsite. I can actually unzip the side. Oh, I forgot about that. Whoops. Got a tree saw, and then that looks like that might actually be Carola's camp pillow. But I can unzip the side. Right here. And I can actually access the entire pack. And I can pull stuff from the bottom without unpacking everything else. So it's one of the other reasons why I really like this pack. But that's it. That's my camping setup. That's my hiking setup. I can go through this stuff again if you want, but sorry. So next I'm going to show you how I set up my rain shelter, my hammock, my under quilt, and then I'll show you what the top quilt looks like once it's all in. It's warming up out here today, so I'll probably start sweating as soon as I lay down in the hammock. But yeah, I'll get set up and we can do that. one's done. We have our tarp set up. Now we've got a dry place to move our gear. It's not getting rained on. And we can finish setting up camp. I've got to run a couple errands, so I'll be back. And when I get back, I'll show you how I do the rest of my setup. For you guys, that's going to be instant. For me, it's going to be a couple hours. So I'll see you then. All right, so we're back. We have our rain shelter set up. This is going to help block some of the wind. Really simple A-frame style, out to stakes, the center ridge line supporting the weight. And now what we're going to do is hang our hammock up underneath this so we can stay dry. Got my hammock. Let's get started. Alright, so these hammocks that I make have the bug nets integrated into them and an internal ridge line to support that. So whoopee slings are on the end. And now we are going to go ahead, throw our lights in, and work on our under quilt and top quilt. Easy peasy. So now we've got our hammock set up, our top quilts expanding inside. We got our wind and cold protection on the bottom, which is our under quilt here, and we have our rain protection. So what I like to do is give the rain a way to run down this line and drop to the ground. So usually I'll just tie a knot here. I'll let it drip down this outside. Same on the other side. So that is pretty much our sleep system. That's the most important part, at least for me. As soon as I get into camp, I want to make sure I can get some shelter up and my sleep system up. And then everything else, we can unpack, put headlamps on if it's dark, get some firewood, get food going, whatever we need. So I've had some questions by folks over the years that say that you don't get as much privacy with these tarps as you would if you had a tent. That's not true, because what you can do is remove the end to the four corners and leave the middle staked, and you can close these two edges like a door. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Alright, so let's see what both of those look like. I'm going to take you underneath the tarp just so you can get an idea of how much privacy you actually get. So it's pretty walled off. Yes, it's a little, there's gaps underneath, but what you can do is hang your hammock lower and then bring the tarp lower as well if you want it touching the ground. I don't recommend that, but kind of is what it is. Obviously you can do the same on the other side and then leave one flap where you can lift it up and get in and then close it again. So that's that. And that is how I set up my sleep system. Every trip, every time. The only thing that changes is what I'm actually connected to. So it'll either be a tree or a tree and a Jeep or 2 Jeeps. Whatever we can get our hands on at the time. Good little nap. Now we got to take everything back down. Show you guys how I wind these cords. That way they don't get tangled up on me. Just lay it across your hand, come through your pinky, around your thumb. Just crisscross like so. When you get about right here, grab the bunch. Just twist around. Find the middle here. Pull your tail up through there. Then you can slide everything down some. It'll tighten it up. So I can just undo that and it'll fall out. It'll never knot. It'll never end up in a knot, I should say. At this point, the tarp is done. I've just draped it over to one side. Normally it would be the last thing I take down, but for simplicity's sake, trying to film this, I'm just going to drape it over. We're going to do our under quilt, inside quilt, pack all that up, get the lights out, and then I'll show you how the hammock packs up. It's pretty quick, so stay with me. quilt done, the underquilt done. Now I'm going to show you how quick this hammock packs up. Alright, I've got the back side of the tarp finished up. It's ready to be taken down, so we're going to do that now. Let's go for a hike.